So it's been a very interesting afternoon already with Fang Zhengyi's terrific win over Neil Robertson. Fan now waiting for either Wilson or Day tonight. Just a sort of final word for now on Fang Zhengyi. I think you can argue the two biggest matches he's ever played, he's now won. The final against Ronnie O'Sullivan and this one in the big tournament against Neil Robertson. So it says something about him. Kyren Wilson is a former runner-up, 2018, lost to O'Sullivan in the final.
Yes, it was always going to be a big prize, the winner of this match to play tonight, as we call it, the group final. But perhaps that's been heightened slightly by the upset. Although Fan Zhengyi played wonderfully towards the end, didn't he? So it's set up nicely, this match.
4.
Kyren Wilson's won 5 ranking titles. I'm sure he's looking to land one of the real prestige events now. Been runner-up, the World Championship, runner-up in the Masters, runner-up in this. He's looking to get one of those on his CV. It's just gone wrong in terms of position. Yeah, because Ryan Day winning the British Open, he got back in the top 16, which meant he didn't have to go to qualifying for anything. And also, he hadn't qualified for the Northern Ireland Open, so that's why he's had no snooker to play. But I'm sure it's been an enjoyable few weeks as he reflects on a terrific performance he put up in the final. But that could be quite a big error. I think, Alan, when you won the Masters, you were playing the next day in a tournament.
Yeah, thinking back to that, it was I played Dave Finbow the following day. I think it was 11 o'clock in the morning down in Bournemouth, so no time to do a lot, to be honest, but that was the way. That just sometimes that happens, doesn't it? But yeah, Ryan Day, it'll be 1 month tomorrow, won't it, since that British Open triumph.
6.
So he'll have enjoyed a week or two maybe away from the table, but back to business the last couple of weeks, so it may take him a frame or two to hit his straps this afternoon.
Yes, against a player in Kyren Wilson who we know is so dedicated and has worked so hard constantly to keep improving, hasn't just settled for getting into the top 16. He's pushed on to number 6 in the rankings, where he is currently 3rd on the 1-year list. So looking good for all the Players Series events.
Yeah, a good strike, wasn't it?
12.
Full face of the apex ball, but hampered, so end the break, unfortunately. Of course, never say never, but might be able to fashion some kind of almost half shot to nothing. Oh, great recovery. Well played. Not a shot that he could have played, but for getting the cue ball back up towards the baulk line. So well to keep this going. A good opening now. Pink spot not too bad at all when he gets that back on its spot. Yeah, surprise, surprise. That was as easy as a shot as you'll ever see Kyren miss, and he missed it by quite a margin.
It's amazing, isn't it, after the great red, but I guess that red he had to 100% concentrate on, and he's just sort of taken his eye off the yellow. So Ryan Day gets his first good chance here. It's his 4th appearance in this Champion of Champions. He's been twice a quarter-finalist, including last year when Judd Trump beat him. And that British Open success was his 4th in a ranking event. Came out the blue a little bit. He was in the doldrums a tad, but he's proved what a terrific player he is when he brings it all together. Remember when he beat Robbie Williams in the semis? He was such a struggle. He said, I don't want to play the final. Thankfully, he did. And he got stronger towards the end. From 7 each, he was superb.
$14. 15.
Okay, it may not look it, but this is the key shot to frame 1. Plenty still to do, but yeah, well played. Everything waiting now.
$22. $20. $30.
Wasn't sure, was he, initially, if he could get through. Just about
31.
okay. Of course, it wasn't just the satisfaction of winning the British Open, it's all the spin-offs, getting in this event for a start. Back in the top
38.
16, so seeded for the UK Championship, looking good for the Masters, looking good for all the Players Series events. Really transformative victory it was. Oh my word, that red just just struggled in.
Yeah, with the 2-year ranking list, obviously the British Open win, it sort of gives you a couple of years of, you know, ranking security, that kind of thing. But what it also gives you is 6 months or maybe a year of being able to play with a certain amount of freedom that perhaps you didn't have prior to that win. I think the good early signs as well. He's not deliberating over any of these shots. He's all business. So 35 to the good.
53.
Looking for red colour red.
$54.
was a lapse. Nowhere near, just top side or straight in the black. Shouldn't be anywhere near that sort of line. I know he's got all the cue power you need, but gonna need it here to get the cue ball up close to that red and shot there. Yeah.
61.
This one they look like secure in the frame. I know, yeah, 43 in front. They just got to take a little breather here and not do anything silly. Referee Marcel Eckhart standing in close proximity because he knows that if Ryan were to even attempt the pot, it's likely to play a push. So there's Marcel. See, it's easy to play the cue ball obviously onto this end cushion, but then Ryan's thinking it gives Kyren an easy chance to peel into baulk and almost force Ryan to have to play a shot. And that's what's going to happen.
Ryan Day, 61.
He'll do his best to release the red nearest the cushion, you would think.
Yeah, so this could potentially yet be a respot.
I must confess I was surprised he played it that way. He had an easy push down and back up on a red. If this goes, he's still got an outside chance, you would say, to get that respot.
To beat. So Ryan Day with his chance to put this away. It was the miss yellow, wasn't it, early on? He was in and played a good red actually to continue the break, then missed that for him. Simple yellow. Ryan Day needs this red. It should be 1-0 to him. And the break he made, that 61, he looked very confident. As Alan said, he was playing at a good tempo. So I think a lot of people were sort of tipping up a Robertson-Wilson match tonight. Well, clearly it's not going to be that. It might be neither of them. Neil Robertson already out. And Kyren Wilson already 1-0 down.
8.
Apart from anything else, you know, the British Open win has eased a bit of financial pressure. He got £100,000. So, having been struggling for a few months, suddenly everything in the garden is rosy for Ryan Day, and that makes him very dangerous. Because we all know what a terrific player he is when he's at his best.
12.
In that one tournament, the British Open, he earned more prize money than he did the whole of last season.
19. There's
no doubt the missed yellow was for Wilson the moment this frame turned. It let Ryan Day in for his 61, and he's done enough to take the opening frame of the second match of the afternoon here on day 2 of the champion. Underway with our second match here on the second afternoon of the Champion of Champions, Kyren Wilson and Ryan Day. Into the arena, 1-0 it is to Ryan Day.
Thank you. The second frame, Kyren Wilson.
Wilson just needing to focus a little harder after that surprising miss on the yellow, which let Day in for the 61 break he made. The head-to-head favours Day 6-3, although 3 of those victories came before Wilson won that 2015 Shanghai Masters, which was his big breakthrough and established him as a top player. The most recent meeting was won by Wilson at the Players' Championship in 2021, the one John Higgins won. I remember I spoke to Kyren at the Championship League in July. That was the first event of the season, and he was talking about this Champion of Champions, saying, I really want to get in it. I want to win something to play in it. It's seen, quite rightly, as a high prestige tournament.
Yeah, it was clever use of the pink as the guard. Wee bit unlucky. The red that he played offers a small gap back to Bolt, but it's got to be accurate with this. Yeah. Not easy, so that clever little piece of thinking has created a half chance for Ryan. Like not on, so lots of work to do, but he's in first.
Just one errant red kind of in the way. Again, Marcelo Cart's quite rightly keeping close watch in case there's a foul.
One. 6. Seven.
Yeah, that's a great asset Ryan's always had. He's a power merchant. He can really get through it and generate power that 90% of tour players can't. Need it here as well. See, that muscles it and bullies it into the pocket and gets the cue ball widening and back down into nice position. One of those players, you wouldn't think of him as an outstanding potter, or certainly a excellent break builder, we know that, but I think one of the best things about Ryan Day, he's an 8 or 9 out of 10 in everything, and that alone just makes you a handful in any company.
Yeah, I think somewhere along the way he lost a bit of confidence, and of course everyone has off-table things to deal with as well, but we saw it all return, didn't we, last month? Worth saying as well, it took a long time to win his first ranking title, the Riga Masters 2017, but then he won his second that season, and he also won a big invitation event in Romania just afterwards, so he sort of opened the floodgates a little bit.
16.
Just watching this first frame in a bit, you know, back in the day, 10, 12, 14 years ago, when he really came through and made his mark at the top end of the game, his delivery through the cue ball was positive and fluid, and that kind of dissipated, I think, the last few years, but it looks good today. Okay, that's gone wrong, but the signs are good.
21.
And that's good sign as well. He's disappointed there. When you're in a good period of form and good vibes are happening, every time you get a chance you think, right, let's win the frame. You're not thinking bits and pieces.
Ryan Day, 21.
And there again, that's a fantastic safety shot to cover the left half.
I think that's the thing, he's come into this event maybe with actually quite high expectations. He's come into it feeling good, which has not been the case in every tournament he's played in the last couple of years. Body language has been good from him so far.
Good work there, Marcel Eckhart, just checking to see how much he can see of a certain red. Second closest to the cue ball. One that Ryan's looking at playing. Sorry, Kyren. Clever. Classic example there of just buying himself another shot.
This is where dangers can lurk when reds start to go in different parts of the table. Looking for safe spots for the cue ball.
Worth looking at that again. Such a tough shot. One of the most difficult shots in the game for any top player to be faced with. Now, I often say the first shot of any break is the most important. Can he find one good shot with position? Nah, a wee bit of tension. Just a hint of movement. Just a hint of head movement. Some shots you just know as a player, if I get this, there's 20 or 30, maybe even 40 to feast on.
One.
So he is in, having missed that difficult red to the middle. He's potted this one, and this is where, as I say, he needs to focus, because of course he was in frame one and things just went wrong unexpectedly. He's a player you do associate with hard work.
5.
He's head at his school when he was a boy used to allow him Fridays off to go and play snooker in an academy. So he was given a huge opportunity at a young age to get quality practice. He was mentored by Peter Ebden, the former world champion. And he's just trying to keep on improving.
$11. $12. Kyren Wilson, 12.
Yeah, hasn't settled. I was actually just thinking, looking at Kyren, you wouldn't, maybe the untrained eye, you wouldn't think he tinkers all that much, but his cue action to me seems to change tournament to tournament. It's just small changes. It's more feel than anything. He's a very technical minded player, but with that comes change, and sort of constant change, if you like. John Higgins is another that where you watch him, you think, well, he looks the same as he did a year ago, 6 months ago, whenever, but there are small changes in there often. Yeah, this time he's got a little deep in the cue ball.
6.
That red may look cuttable, but I think it's a bit deceptive. I don't think it's on. Yeah, you see it there, not on at all. So maybe a scrappy frame, but as we know, these sometimes are the most important in a match, because there is going to be scoring. The best of 7, they seem to be more important in these tight frames.
Yeah, and Wilson is just desperate for any sort of fluency. He's had some chances already. Highest break only 13 in this match.
7.
As the double flies in.
So clever. Value attached to everything about the shot. He had the cover on the other red. Probably wasn't going to lose the frame. Oh. Well, was that a kick? That's all that could have been. And he's avoided
10.
Well, something bad happened. Let's see again. Yeah, it must have been maybe just a hint of a bad contact.
11.
Because the problem in the scrappy frames, balls go awkward, so there's still work to do here, but he must have picked up on the fact that Wilson is just struggling a bit. Yeah, thanks a lot, he says. One of those frames, isn't it? But they're all important, and these can feel in some ways more important psychologically. Because they're a little test of temperament
15.
and focus. It may be that neither man would admit it, but Neil Robertson going out may just have changed the weather here, because clearly he is, well, he's number 2 in the world, he's a multi-champion, he's one of the big favourites of the tournament. They won't be playing him tonight, so it's a big opportunity potentially winning this match to get to the semis. Of course, Fang Zhengyi would have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, top quality. That safety shot. Trying to force Ryan's hand, bringing reds into play, so this is one of these that we wouldn't be massively surprised if he missed it altogether. That's why it was kind of, you're almost half playing to miss that, because as ever thick would be the enemy. Good shot. But again, it's a sign of what I said before, where Ryan Day, as a player, he's 8 or 9 out of 10 in everything. He's got all those bases covered. You're not going to fall into that sort of trap. And he's earned himself a decent half chance.
Yeah, and 24 feels like a good lead, actually. There the balls are. 3 reds in the open here would be enough. Oh dear, that was not close. And that's just opened the table up a bit as well. There's other reds that come into play now, so that shot may change things. Okay, he's not left a pot on, but as he sits down, he may be a little anxious that he's just slightly opened the door here. Yeah, Day just trying to push something safe. Of course, it's in Wilson's interest to do the opposite, to get balls into the open.
Yeah, that was one where it looked to me like Ryan just lost his method. Yes, it was a big shot in the frame and potentially a frame winning shot. He just kind of got up to the table and sort of played it without really preparing to play it. Yeah. Can Kyren find a good positional shot? Expect the red to disappear, of course, but the cue ball out of there.
One.
We know what a confident player he is with that rest.
8.
And you saw it there, the way he potted that black.
Nine. Eleven.
Brilliant shot. Didn't look it, but it gives him close proximity to this next red, top one. Certainly get close to it if he can just finish below straight. Just below straight is what he's looking for. And he's got exactly that.
17.
Brilliant last two shots. There you go, played on a button, which gives him easy access to
18.
this last red.
$25.
Yeah, this is tough, and as we know, when you're playing a cannon that you can't avoid obviously on pink, take your eye off the pot. Brilliant shot. Brilliant shot. Just to get the cue ball out in the open, please. You're sort of half playing on, well, anything, black or blue. Just get the cue ball out in the open space. Now, choices. The one good thing that takes a wee bit of pressure off this is that Ryan still needs the pink. It helps a fraction, but pressure on it.
Well, hasn't he kept this going superbly? And this was another big
31.
shot. Obviously has to get that with the yellow waiting. Has got it and has given himself every chance now to level up. And what he's also seen in this frame is Ryan Day miss a couple by some distance, it's got to be said. He made that good start in frame one.
36.
Check at the scores. Both players know that Wilson needs brown and blue here.
$40.
Very good practice. At one point, Day was a big favourite where the balls were. They opened up. Wilson, in fact, got them into the open, and he's made his move in this frame with a really good clearance to the pink. 51. So Kyren Wilson, who missed that yellow in frame one, has eventually made amends here. Kyren Wilson ×2 there, and he'd be happy to be on the scoreboard after that second frame where he was struggling for a frame and a half, but eventually got in, made a good 51 and has levelled up at 1 each. And Ryan Day, as I say, has sort of gone the other way, having started well with that 61. A few errors did creep in frame 2. Remember, this is best of 7, and Fang Zhengyi, if you've been out today, he caused a big upset earlier, beating Neil Robertson 4-3, so he's waiting in tonight's group decider, best of 11 this evening, to go into the semi-finals. Some nice stuff, Alan, from Kyren Wilson in that last frame.
Yeah, that's part of being a top player, as you say. Nothing doing, first frame and a half. Got his chance, you've got to be ready to pounce, and that's testament to what a great temperament he does have, Kyren.
Where's the DJ gone, he said, but they play music between frames here. And suddenly all is silent again. Just been made to wait for Ryan Day to return. Yeah, he was doing a bit of chuntering in his seat, Ryan, there actually. A couple of moments where he looked like he was in control and just sort of surrendered it. And it's such a short match, it feels like it makes a big difference. If he'd gone 2-0 up, then all the pressure then is on Kyren Wilson.
Thank you to your third frame. Ryan Day to play.
So, we're ready for frame 3. Ryan Day breaking off 1 each.
Snooker players, I think almost everyone are worth their salt are good at remembering bad things, but the good thing with Kyren having won that second frame, as I say, he is a bit of a tinkerer, I think, in my opinion. That, you know, you come into it with maybe a new method, maybe a new idea, and it doesn't really happen early on. You can sort of get down on yourself pretty quickly, but that, if it is the case, will be erased from his mind. And this has got the Kyren Wilson stamp all over it, this type of shot. Click, click, thud. It's one of those that gives his type of shot. Not the greatest. Kiss in the blue. But as David mentioned, his prowess with the rest, he might be able to recycle this. Blue or yellow. Just watch the backswing and the follow through. Watch how far the cue goes through where the cue ball is now. Look at that. See that extension right through it, about 10, 12 inches, something like that. And
free.
You know, there's an argument. Is it him? Is it Sean? Best in the West with the rest, but I'm with Kyren. Sorry, Sean.
4.
Yeah, poor Sean Murphy. First champion of champions he's not played in, and now he's getting that.
Foul.
Just looking at that,
Kyren
the
Wilson
blue wasn't
for
on its
Ryan
spot.
Day.
You get to see it again, so the actual path into the apex, see, it just left of the spot, and it made all the difference.
Foul.
The blue is an inch to the right, then he gets the full face of the pink. At least it's no free ball, so no damage done. Yeah, that's always a danger, isn't it? The modern way, you open the pack, that's the worry.
One.
Oh, what a shot, honestly. He's got about the size of a beer mat to land there, and he's landed on it. Brilliant shot.
Eight.
One of these where he's desperately trying to convince himself he can actually get through to pot this. Yeah, nicely done.
9.
Little spring in his step now after that last frame. Put together that good break to win it. Taught me won to qualify European Masters in Germany in August. Beat Barry Hawkins in what wasn't the best standard final, but that's not
17.
Wilson's problem. He won it comfortably, 9-3. Hawkins just struggled for whatever reason. And it was a bit of a relief. I think it had been a couple of years since his last ranking title, 2020 Championship League. Standards are so high, though. I mean, he
22.
played a match last season at the UK Championship semi-finals with Luca Brissell, where standard that day was extraordinary. Brissell had 4 centuries.
23.
That's why you really earn your place in this tournament, because these events are really tough to win.
$30. 31.
Just a hair short there. He doesn't want to play a cannon. He's forced into this. Yes, he's not absolutely perfect.
38.
Still goes, so it's a big shot this coming up with the Reds now in the open. it was a big shot. It wasn't a certainty now. What damage,
Kyren
if any,
Wilson,
he's left? Certainly. One red at mid-range for Ryan. Now, that counter clearance in the last frame. Can Ryan return the compliment?
1.
Good shot. Obviously a long way to go, but yeah, no wonder he's shaking his head. Again, he didn't want to have to be forced to play the cannon into the bunch. Saw that last night with John Higgins, didn't we, in frame 10? 40 or 50 to the good against Mark Selby, and the cannon went wrong, and Mark stepped in and did the rest.
Yeah, Ryan Day now looking to just settle back into this match, and
9.
in that position where so many reds to go at out in the open. Be surprised if this went badly wrong early. Certainly the red Wilson missed. It almost felt like frame ball, really, having got the reds into play.
16. White.
See how well he can stay with this shot now. You want to stay with the shot all the way. Like that. Very good.
17.
Could easily gone wrong. There's a lot of difficulties to play in snooker at any level, but one of the most difficult things, no matter where the reds are, is to make a counter clearance from 40, 50, 60 behind. Because it's a test not only of yourself, it's
24.
a test that can you show your opponent that if he makes the same mistake further down the line in the match, can you do it again? And that adds more pressure to him.
25.
Nothing better than nicking a frame that you would have been sat in your chair a few minutes ago thinking, oh, he's probably going to make 80.
Especially as the tide seemed to have turned in this match. Wilson was looking by far the stronger, but it can turn back.
30.
He knows that. That's why he was looking so frustrated when he went back to his seat.
31. Yeah,
I want to play on the difficult red next, if possible.
13.
Okay, maybe he didn't have that plan in his mind. The reason I was thinking that, he could have played on it in such a way, if he didn't get on it, he still had the other one. So he doesn't have that now, but what he does have is a pretty much guaranteed pick your spot from the blue to attack the red. So the big shot coming up after
44.
this.
$45. $50. $51.
Well, it sort of looked straightforward when he came to the table, but there's always little hurdles you've got to get over, and he has done, it seems. So now,
55.
very close to taking the lead, and what's significant, of course, is how he got in. Wilson missing that red. With all the reds there, good lead already he had in the frame. It looked certain to be 2-1 to him if that red goes in, but it didn't, and Ryan Day stepped in, and he stepped up.
60.
So for Wilson in this match, 2 key misses really, the yellow and then that red. Both times Day's made substantial breaks, and now the confidence returning. Terrific blue. Have some of that. What about that for a break? Fantastic clearance from Ryan Day, 82. The Welshman. It's been a really entertaining match so far, and Ryan Day certainly entertained us there with that 82 clearance. 2-1 as you see. So this 4th frame, as we wait for Kyren Wilson, is a big one, isn't it? If Day can win it, then pressure mounting on Wilson's shoulders to fight back. Of course, Pan Zhengyi is waiting tonight, but well, really just over a month ago, being in this Champion of Champions might have seemed a bit fanciful for Ryan Day. He was struggling for form, for results. All came together during that British Open. Certainly he held up so well in that final against Mark Allen, and all the rewards, we mentioned them at the time, they're now bearing out. And it starts here, of course, with this event, and hoping to be here this evening with a chance to get into the semi-finals at the weekend. Lovely arena here. Matchroom Multisport has ever done a terrific job with the whole layout of this event. Become such a firm favourite on the snooker calendar, and that's why Wilson will be fighting hard to stay in this match. Next frame is a big one.
Thank you. 4th frame. Kyren Wilson to play.
You can see where Ryan there, he's one of those players a lot on the tour, he lives every shot out there. There's different temperaments and all that sort of thing. That half chance for Kyren, they get the cue ball out of there.
1.
Yeah, but a tricky blue or yellow to follow. See, Kyren, I think mentally more than Ryan is a flatliner as far as temperament goes. You know, with shots like that, I think he's a fraction calmer. He doesn't quite live every shot the way Ryan perhaps does.
Kyren Wilson, 3.
Now then, will the cue ball pull up? I think it has, maybe. Yeah. Ryan's all over this big shot. Remember I said earlier, the first shot of any potential break or contribution is massive. This is a big shot, the way the Reds are.
1.
Well played. And I think the fact that he's a winner, you know, almost a month ago, that British Open, you're able to then, the bad shots that you play, you're able to forget about them a bit quicker, get on with the job in hand.
Yeah, and he looks pumped up today to me, and you know, he's a tall guy anyway, Ryan. At the end of that 82 that he made in the last frame, all the sort of exhibition stuff was coming out. It was stomping around the table. It was great to watch, actually, unless, of course, you're Kyren at the moment. But that body language is so important. You're showing your opponent how you're feeling, how good you're feeling, as you steal a frame that should have been theirs. We talk a lot about the class of 92, of course,
14.
but after the likes of O'Sullivan, Williams, Higgins came through, there was a wave of players from the UK who've all gone on to have good careers. Ryan Day was in the sort of class along with the likes of Sean Murphy and Steve Maguire, Ali Carter. Several others as well, but they are the players who went on to win tournaments.
.22.
There are times in matches, I think, when players, and I know, as I said, Ryan lives every shot out there, he's really intense. There are times, I think, in matches when, if you can get into your thinking, just take a breather, 10 seconds, take a couple of deep breaths and think, right, okay, this is a big, big visit. If I can put together a decent number at this moment of the match, it could go a long way to getting yourself through. You know, when you're living every moment, you're kind of eager to make it happen rather than just let it happen organically, if you like. So
29.
now you'll want the pink to not go on its own spot off this. He may play red topside of blue and then it's a nice target. This next couple of shots, yeah, the pink spot's covered, isn't it? Just depends, but oh, what a bonus this is. And if Ryan thought of this, he thought maybe the pink will go and it might still be on, and if it is, he's in business. Oh, it's on. It's perfect.
35. .36.
Just don't try and hit this too hard. You only need 3 or 4 reds out. You don't need all of them. Just concentrate in the pot and just punchy. Not too hard. See, a little wee bit hard, but still just about okay. I just thought playing for the red in the right corner may have encouraged the reds to open a fraction more, but still got a couple.
Well, the gloves are off here for the referee. Just a little delicate operation. Yeah, it has to be in the line with the spots.
42.
And it is.
Rande 42.
Yeah, not been wise after the event, but I mean, I don't know if he got a heavy contact and missed it thick, but it could be a key juncture. Well, the only good news, it doesn't appear to have left anything. Maybe a potential double to right middle. It just depends. See, the safety shot, he may feel he's not getting full value from it, so the double's worth a pop. He's playing it. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. Pretty good decision to release the difficult red.
Following the miss. Kyren Wilson 4. Yep.
Really is a top-class referee now, Marcel Eckhart. Brilliant job. He knew exactly where the cue ball was before Ryan played that, because he knew there was a good chance Ryan would miss it altogether. Good work, Marcel, as ever. So, got to really get this at the second time of asking. Brilliant shot. Class, Kyren. Saying to Ryan, do you want to have a look at this just to confirm that I can get a little bit of red paint? Kyren, having asked the question, Ryan's got full trust in that he could see it, and of course he could. Good shot. Okay, the pot's on. There is a gap round the back of the black, but can he find the pot and control the cue ball this side of the baulk line? That's the key. Oh, he butchered it. He's butchered one. He was up. I keep talking about finishing this shot. He was up searching for it almost as soon as he made contact with the cue ball.
What a mixed bag it's been from Ryan today. We've seen veer quite significantly from brilliant to not so good. A couple of times, actually. terms of the scoreline, this is where we were in the last frame reversed. But of course, the difference here is there is going to be some work to do with a couple of the reds. But at least Kyren Wilson has his chance to start to get back into the frame.
Free.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's found the best area here. See the reds in one another's way to the corner. Got the rest out again. And once again, position salvaged.
4.
We keep saying it, but he is truly magnificent with the rest. Now then. Just a flicker right hand side. Not the best piece of ball striking he's ever come up with, but still in decent position. His job here is to make a frame of this. David said the 2 or 3 reds that are half out of commission. He just wants to get the 3 in the open at least. Very good. That's excellent. And he made the pot easier by playing on baulk colour. Alright, you're sacrificing 2, 3, 4 points by doing that, but you're able to keep the break going. And the black's in a lovely position to maybe open those reds.
Well. Thirteen. Nineteen. 20. $26. 27.
Yeah, so here it is. The only thing, can he get the one that's touching the cushion, can he get that moving as well as the open one? No, see, that was the problem. He just couldn't get at both of them.
34.
But I suppose objective number 1 has been achieved. He's back in the frame. Let's push this red left half of the pink. No, he's not quite hit it, but green's good cover.
34.
So all in all, a good contribution.
Yeah, and a very key moment of this whole contest now. Just 1 point in it, but of course Ryan Day's looking for 3-1 as opposed to Wilson 2-2. So the next few minutes, the context of the overall match, you feel really important.
Ryan just at the minute, he's in survival mode. He's 2-1 to the good and a chance of going 3-1 in front, but you feel like he's really desperate to get that 2-frame cushion, so he's maybe a wee bit of mental self-inflicted pressure at the minute. Oh, now, what damage? Potentially plenty. If this red disappears, there's plenty colours waiting. This is your chance, Ryan Day. For a 3-1 advantage.
One.
Well, he's just come a little too far for the blue to have the angle to get on that red. Of course, the green being where it is messes things up as well in terms of the bulk colours. So he's looking now at the pink. Another big shot in a frame full of them.
Seven.
Generous round of applause, and why not? That was absolutely middled.
8.
So he needs yellow, green and brown to lead 3-1, barring snookers.
12.
Been a real roller coaster emotionally this match for Day. He's living every shot. He's clearly pumped up, sensing a big chance. And it looks like in this frame he's taken it finally. Needs the brown for 3-1.
19. 24. 30.
Well, it always looked like a big frame in terms of the match, and that's how it's played out in terms of the way it's unfolded. And it is Ryan Day who's won it. So Ryan Day is one frame away from tonight's clash with Fan Zhengyi. Kyren Wilson with it all to do because he's trailing 3-1.